humans of the internet, my name is Elizabeth and this is not the video I wanted to do today. Quick little story time. I tried to film a bookshelf tour and it was an awesome, cool looking thing, and I was editing it, and about 10 minutes into editing, the file corrupted. And I was able to get it back and start over, and then I spent a good 40 minutes editing. I was almost done and it corrupted again. So that's just not happening. I might do an overview, a quick tour tomorrow or something, but the fun edited one is just not happening because I can't. I just cannot. Anyways, as you can tell from the title of this video, I am doing a Top 5 Wednesday. Top 5 Wednesday was created by Lainey over at Ginger Reads Lainey. I will link her and the Goodreads group down below. This week's topic is Top 5 Required Reading, or books you were forced to read for school. I was an English major, as you guys know, so I was forced to read a shit ton of books. I have 3 books from college and 2 books that I had to read in high school. I actually really liked a lot of the books we had to read in high school and college. I majored in English for a reason, so let's get going. For number 5, the book I chose is Troilus and Cressida by Geoffrey Chaucer. This is an epic poem, so this is what it looks like. This is a translated version from Middle English. Middle English is hard. It's not pretty, and thankfully we didn't have to read this in Middle English. I read this for my Chaucer class, so all we read was Chaucer. We also read the Canterbury Tales, which we did read in Middle English, and you will notice that's not on this list. But this is this is what Romeo and Juliet is based on. It is a epic love story, 2 people who shouldn't be together, and I also had a really fun time reading it because we read it as a class out loud. So yeah, this is number 5. So number 4 on my list is The Complete Mouse by Art Spiegelman. These are 2 graphic novels. This is a graphic memoir of Art Spiegelman's life and also his father's life in concentration camp in World War II. It is told in comic book form, and then also the Nazis are cats and the Jews are mice. I had to read this for my freshman English class. It was a class based on genocide in the 21st century. It was a very, very depressing class, but I learned a lot. And this is one of the best things that's ever come out of that class, really, was being able to read this book and write a paper on it, and just, this is number 4. My number 3 pick is something I read in high school and have recently reread, and that is To Kill a Mockingbird by Harper Lee. I think I've read this about 4 times total now. It was assigned to us, I want to say, sophomore year of high school. This is an iconic classic. Everyone knows about it. I thank my English teacher for bringing it into my life because it has always been one of my favorites. Number 2 is the book that my favorite English class was centered around, and that is Alice's Adventures in Wonderland by Lewis Carroll. I have a few copies of this now. It was a Victorian literature class that we read this in. We learned about Lewis Carroll, his life, his friends. We read poetry from then. We read these 2. We read Peter Pan, and it was a phenomenal class. I used the paper that I wrote for that class as a writing sample to get into law school. I love this book. I love Alice. I love everything to do with Wonderland, and I'm forever grateful that I got to read this in an English class setting because I got to learn so much more about the behind the scenes of Lewis Carroll and nonsense literature than I ever would have just reading this on my own. And finally, the number 1 book that I was required to read is still to this day the best children's book I've ever read. My senior year of high school for advanced composition, and that is The Little Prince by Antoine de Saint-Exupéry. It's translated. I didn't take French, so I don't know how to speak French. It's an English version. This is my battered up copy that I love, and I've written all over and highlighted, and this is a glorious story. And I reread it every year or so. I love it so much, and it's such a short little read. If you haven't read this, I really, really suggest you do, because it changed my life, to be honest with you. This book absolutely changed my life, and it was something that I had to read for high school. I don't know how many other people have that kind of experience, so The Little Prince. there you go. That is my top 5 for the week. Maybe I'll continue doing top 5 Wednesdays, at least next Wednesday. I don't know. I really want to do that bookshelf tour, but you know, I don't have that kind of patience. So, there you go. Tell me if you had to read any of those books for school, and subscribe if you want to see more of me. Like this video if you're into top 5s, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye!